Oh, hey, what's up? It's Shawn T. But you already know that, hopefully. If you read the title, yes, alright? It's another Death Grips album. EXMILITARY. So listen, alright? Listen. About that time to get it started. I've recently, over the past few months, what? Why you write scripts for your videos? Because it doesn't just, you can't just freeball. I did my last analysis of Death Grips in March, and it's been about 2 months since then, and I'm ready for another one. After continuous listens of The Money Store, I think, you know, Death Grips is one of those groups that make music to trigger people. I don't know if they do it on purpose, but it is triggering music. I guess you would consider it, and I said this in my review of it before, unstable experimentation. But from what a lot of you guys are telling me, you're telling me that this is a little bit more of an accessible album, meaning that they use a little bit more modernized production, or production that's a little bit more pleasing to the ear. Maybe I'll recognize some of it. That does not mean I'll be able to understand MC Ride any more than I was able to understand him in the last one I listened to, but hopefully I still enjoy it. You guys said it was great, so I'm hoping that you're correct. But you guys also said Russ's album was great, and that was horrible, so I don't know if I can trust you after that. If you don't like Death Grips, I couldn't necessarily just be upset with MC Ride if the reason you're upset with them is because you can't understand the lyrics. For what I know of the group, all three of them contribute. They have a big part in production and lyrics and overall sound and structure of the way the songs are put out there. So if you want to get mad at one of them, I guess you got to get mad at all of them.
Are y'all ready, kid?
Aye, Captain. Shut up. Death Grips, EXMILITARY, let's get it. Track number 1, Beware.
Someone's door down. I was running from that. When I got out, I was in that studio. Went to Fox Studios. I had it all.
Oh, did you now? I know I'm not done listening to the track yet, but why on earth? Oh, why is Charles Manson on the intro of this track?
The money, man. I roll the nickels.
I actually like this song though, so far. This is kind of heavy, I'm not gonna lie. I like that line, I'm the beast I worship. Jesus Christ. Alright, first track, I need an Advil. Look, after the first track, what I'm getting is like, we have, I don't remember. We're getting a lot of that theme of discombobulation and unease that I felt from the last project, which I feel like works for somebody like MC Ride. I actually like that on him. The greatest part of the song is him saying, I am the beast I worship, because it's not like I can identify with being the beast that I worship, but that sounds like a badass line. It just does. Then there's this one part near the end of the song where he just gives you nothing but like this mental picture of just horrible, awful things that the world has to offer. Like, imagine grabbing a 3-year-old and, you know, he's got this huge smile on his face, and then you tell him this, and then by the end of your little speech or sermon, he's crying his eyes out because he doesn't want to live in this world anymore. I do like the song, though. It has a lot of heavy bass to it. The reason I'm saying I can't lie, I actually like it, is because I'm completely coming into this with no bias, because I did enjoy their last project, but this one, I know so many people love jumping on the Death Grips hype train, and a lot of people love Death Grips, and I don't want to be one of those people that likes it because everyone else does. I want to like it for the qualities I feel that it offers, but I did actually like that track. Next track, Guillotine, featuring wait, what? No. It says Guillotine, It Goes, yeah, I don't know, don't judge me. It goes. Stop. No. Okay. He can't keep doing this. He cannot keep doing this. All sound completely stopped, and then he just drops it again. I'm not exaggerating. That could give me a heart attack. It's just knocking against the speakers. What? No. Jesus, that bass is... Can you stop interrupting me? That's another track that adds to my previous point, and I think the only thing that I really didn't like about the track was more so just the fact that it goes for so long in such a predictable fashion. Like the part where there's no sound and it picks right back up with the bass is cool, but it happens so much in the song that I anticipate it, and it becomes less and less of a surprise by the time I hear it again. So I'm like, oh, okay, well that's nice. Oh, you're doing it again? That's cool. Oh, you're doing it again? That's cool, man. Oh, again? Another one? Okay. Bye. It's not bad. I think it's executed well, and the production on this is amazing. The bass knocks against my speakers, and I like the way it sounds, but it does become repetitive really fast. Track number 3, Spread Eagle, Cross the Block.
Cross the block!
Have I heard this before?
What is it? Where is it? How will it affect me? I'm like driving down the street to the beat of a blow shot.
Is he talking about drugs? He's clearly talking about drugs.
Two men don't stop, I'm not too black light in my view like that's what's ready, yo, cross.
So I'm assuming with that track he was talking about wanting to go and get drugs. He actually asks, I'm assuming he's asking the dealer at one point, you know, how is this going to affect me? Like, as if to say, how high am I going to get? Another thing in there that I actually really enjoyed was how just disjointed and not put together this is. I know I usually have an issue with the way that is, and I just don't have an issue with the way he's doing it, because in my mind, as far as the subject matter is concerned, it matches what the scene is in my head. Like if I'm high, or I want to get high, or I want something to just completely take me out, this is the song. This is how discombobulated I have to be. This is my mindset. This is how I have to be thinking and speaking if I'm under this type of thought process. Like, why would you be a well put together human being if this is one of your goals? So for the music to sound like this, in my opinion, it kind of makes sense. Not my favorite track, but it's edible. I don't know why I said that. It's next track, Lord of the Game, featuring Mexican Girl. If this is not a Mexican girl, I'ma find you, MC Ride. You know, wait, I take that back, because I don't know what you do, so I'm gonna just leave that alone. I like this already.
Hey, on the brain of a ball that you claim to know me on the jump train from the lips of the driver. Ripping the wheel, flipping donuts to be.
That is nice. That's really, really nice.
When they tell you you must make it. You think I'm not
Again. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Who is this Mexican girl? Who is this Mexican girl? So, that production deserves a medal. Again, you might not like them for everything that they're saying. Let me not put it off on you. I might not like MC Ride on every single one of these tracks, but the production is just... okay, just take it all in, hold it, clench your butt cheeks, pause. I guess I can't pause on that, it's already inside. And just take it, all right? And then when it comes out of you, just accept it for what it was. Okay, that was big. Pause. Next track, Tachyon, Death Young. Why do you give me names that I can't properly pronounce, and then you want me to explain the shit to my subscribers like I can actually do it?
Oh, shot it on, we're taking it back to the days of trying to lose, get on feeling it. What was that? Taking it over to make me feel so heated that we creeping out showing you jazz.
Why is the flow so good? I feel it. I feel it. Pause. It's like someone's dropping bombs on the track as it's continuing the entire time, and then the whole time MC Ride's rapping, it's like do. I enjoy the song again just for the simple production. MC Ride, he has the energy to back up what that song is. I haven't always been this analytical in my life, but I do know what Takyon means, and it's like this what if thing that moves faster than anything else, like than the speed of light, speed of sound, everything. It's this thing that moves faster than that. And at one point, MC Ride is actually talking about, oh man, I'm feeling it. So I'm assuming he's on more drugs. You know, he's finally, the effects of the drugs are just now kicking in. And this is the effect. Like, we get this song because MC Ride is now feeling it. He took the drugs, and now he's somehow going faster than the speed of light because he's just now feeling the impact of the drugs that he just took. Which on this track, I can say it feels great listening to it because you get so hype while you're listening to it. The energy within the track is fast-paced. Next track, Cutthroat. I'm trying to figure out what this is. Why does it sound so glitched out? I wouldn't have minded them making that a song, but you know, it's glitched out like Windows 97. Next track, Klink. Oh God, I can feel it coming. Pause. Don't do that. Don't. Why'd you do that? Why are you sampling your own screams? What's that about? Can you tell me? Why would you do that? See, now I'm uncomfortable. Now the whole mood is ruined. My erection has gone soft. Why'd you do that? Yo, you gotta stop with these vocals. No. We're not gonna keep doing this, okay? I'm sorry if you love this song, but he's making me uncomfortable right now, alright? I'm somewhat of a normie still, and I don't want to be vocally molested. He's hitting all the sweet spots. He is currently violating my insides. Like the first 10 to 20, 30, maybe 45 seconds, 70, 80, 90, 100 seconds sounds kind of familiar. I feel like I've heard the beat before. But MC Ride on this track, nah, I can't, no. No. I can't get down with the you don't need it. Next track, Culture Shock. This sounds like a sample too, I just don't know what it is. I'm probably wrong actually. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. Don't quote me. Don't quote me. Am I inside of a transformer? I feel like I can finally lay back and chill. That threw me off. This sounds like such a... Bruh. Yeah, I actually really enjoyed that track. Probably one of my favorites on here because, you know, I don't know if they're intending for it to come across this way, but it's making you feel bad for giving into the media, giving into things that kind of make you come away from, I guess, humanity, because I guess after listening to a track like this, anytime you're using an electronic device, you might be like, but that Death Grip song though. I guess it does kind of contradict that in a way, because you need electronics to listen to this fucking song, so what do you want me to do? Anyway, that was probably one of the tracks on there that gave me the best, like, Terminator vibe. I remember the Money Store, there was a track on there that I thought was like, is this the Terminator? Like, it looks, or it sounds exactly like a robot, and this track gave me exactly that. Track number, I don't know, 5D. It doesn't matter if they start off chill and then they end up making it hype later. Whatever track it is, they always add this real sense of urgency to the track. If someone's rapping on it or not, they make sure the track is just intense and it's just on your back at all times. Next track, Thru the Walls. Why wasn't the Mexican girl on this track? Here we go. Karaoke time. Bring that Mexican girl. Why did they do this to me? Next track, Known for It. Makes you feel like a hoe? Kind of. I don't know why, but I like this track so much. What? This track, I think the thing I like about it so much is that it has a bit of a pattern or a formula that it follows, and I think that's what I like about the song a little bit more. It's a little bit more structured than the others. It has a solid hook. It has verses that are kind of what I would expect from a classical kind of track. I'm not saying the song is classical, but classic kind of songs are formulated like hook, verse, sound, hook, you know, throughout the entire track. Even though there was parts that I anticipated, there were also parts that kind of shocked me, like when he transitioned from the hook into the verse, and you know, I was actually able to understand a lot of what he was saying. Like at one point in the song where Riot actually acknowledges how confused he is. He feels like he's been going in circles pretty much throughout his entire life, and gets to the point where he's able to acknowledge this, but then says, you know what, forget it, I don't care, I'll twist one up and just keep it moving, essentially. Next track, I Want It, I Need It.
The mission to get all of the above, like that we're on our way. Be it acid on the tongue, cocaine in your brain to MDMA. Get all the
How high are you trying to be?
so short her ass is showing, and she's looking so you know when you can get it tonight. I've been dick sucking, lock the door to the bathroom, quick fucking.
So you met this chick pretty much at a bar. This is the setting that I'm picturing right now. He meets this chick at a bar. He's saying my primal instincts are taking over, which means he's at the lowest point in his life right now. Not in the lowest point, but mentally and physically, he's just letting his body do all the work. He takes this girl with the short skirt. He goes in, he starts plowing her. Yes. The only thing about this track that kind of confuses me so far is the way MC Riot raps. I can't even picture him asking for sex.
When loose, and lose yourself doing it, you don't give up. Cause you're so liquored up your throat. Eat up.
Okay.
But there's more things in life, like getting your dick rode off fucking nuts. I'm the kind of girl that knows how to keep her shit tight.
Why'd you do that? Why'd you say that? That was a doozy. That's wow. You gotta just sit here and let this happen.
Give me that and I'll talk to you later. And when I do, let's have
The track is so dark, and it actually explores Riot's obsession with these things. He says, I want it, I need it. In the beginning, you know, I'm assuming, you know, he's just talking about drugs, and then it turns over into talking about women and sex, and basically saying that he needs these things. He also acknowledges that these things kind of aren't good for you, because he references the name Lucy, and I'm assuming that's the his definition of what's supposed to be the female version of the devil. Overall, though, I thought it was a really good, like, formed track, and it's a very honest and open track. I don't really think he cares about being perceived as honest or open. I think he's just telling his truth. Or maybe this is a character, and he's just trying to portray the images to us as if this crazy character he's created is a real life thing. And the final track on here, Blood Creepin. I like this track. You're making me uncomfortable. Is he being chased by someone? Like, if he's being chased by someone and he's screaming at the top of his lung, oh, whoa, 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 is he screaming to, like, ask for help? Or is he screaming because someone is chasing him? Or is this a sound effect of someone who is chasing him? Like, let me know. That production at the end of that song is great. It's amazing, really. That should be commended, because I don't know if sounds that are that clear and that just exquisite when they hit the perfect point. Like when the bass hits and then it's like it bounces back up as soon as it hits down, and it goes right back up to the top. But it doesn't, like, imagine a ball in a box and it's going up and down, up and down, up and down. But the sound is so consistent, like it doesn't lose its speed or its momentum while it's inside the box. Imagine that. So that was Death Grip's Ex-Military, and you know the drill. I'll be back in a few hours after I look at this lyric sheet and I get a feel for everything that he said.
2 hours later.
Alright, so a few hours later, I've listened to the album again with the lyrics in hand, and I can say a lot of this ties into the same narrative that the Money Store does. And can I sit here and say that I'm a huge fan of that? No. But will I sit here and say that it was done bad or that it wasn't executed well? No, I won't say that, because production-wise, this thing is really, really dope. I know Death Grips is kind of known for sampling any and everything, but that was something I felt was a theme on their the Money Store album. With this one, it is a little bit more accessible. I guess you could kind of consider it a little bit more rap influence, maybe a little bit more hip-hop influence. I guess beats that they're using are a little bit less experimental than on the Money Store. So for this album, I think they definitely kind of they were just considering the fact that you know, more than our Death Grips fans listen to us and wanted to make the album a little bit more accessible. I don't think this album holds as much weight for me conceptually as the Money Store, because the concept for the Money Store I've already heard. So moving from that onto this album, it for me doesn't do as much because I've heard the narrative, I've heard the concept. Death Grips and MC Ride kind of done this before, so I'm looking at it and I'm listening to it from the standpoint of someone who's literally listened to the same concept from the same group. You know, I give them credit for that. The same group has done this concept, but how long do you get to do this? I know they had a recent EP that came out, I think last week or maybe a little bit sooner than that, and maybe I'll give that one a try as well. But one of the things I've noticed with Death Grips, they tend to use these unorthodox beats to kind of add this level of feeling of urgency and this feeling of paranoia in the tracks, and maybe that's to complement MC Ride's constant energy on this thing. They take that into consideration, knowing that he's going to be the one rapping on these. They want something that's going to complement his unorthodox, crazy, bouncing all off the walls, unorthodox flow. That's another thing I kind of wanted to mention. MC Ride doesn't necessarily flow on any of these tracks. It's not something that I think is bad because it's supposed to be this way, but I think one of the issues that I find, at least with Death Grips fans, like heavy Death Grip fans, is when it's something like this, they find an excuse for anything. If MC Ride is offbeat, or maybe there is something in production that's a little off, they find any reason to justify it because, no man, it's supposed to be that way because he's crazy. He's portraying this crazy character. All the songs are supposed to be off the wall. I get it, but that doesn't mean that it's amazing. Just listen to it from the standpoint of someone who isn't a heavy Death Grips fan. I do like where they're coming from. I like the message that they deliver. MC Ride is a crazy person when it comes to being on the mic. A lot of people will view it as a negative that they have to go back and look at a lyric sheet to hear a rapper on experimental hip-hop. Can you really get all the enjoyment out of something the second time around? Because during my first listen, I was way more excited. The second listen, I was just like, all right, now I'm trying to understand, as opposed to it just happening while I'm listening. Now, there were a couple of tracks on here that I did understand, a couple of tracks that off the first listen I was like, oh my god, this is great, this is awesome. Like I Wanted, I Needed. I Wanted, I Needed was another track that had a lot of structure to it as well. I think that was one of the tracks that I liked because it was just so straightforward and in your face, and it gave you a mental picture of everything that MC Ride was talking about. Even if you didn't agree with it or love the subject matter, you could still understand him, and the production was structured like a normal song, so you could probably enjoy it without being thrown off. Another track I like was Takyon. I wouldn't necessarily say the instrumentals on this thing, as far as like the interludes, the cuts on here where they're the 45-second to like a minute songs, I wouldn't necessarily say they do that much justice. They add that much to the album itself. Those aren't tracks that I would necessarily come back to. They certainly show Death Grips' production capabilities, but as far as songs or structure themselves or adding to the actual narrative or adding to the album itself, I'm sure, like I said, Death Grips fans are going to be a huge fan of it. Somebody like me who just wants to hear something of value, something that I can take away from it, I'm probably not going to be coming back to those tracks. Overall, this thing is produced really, really well. I like MC Ride's vocals on it. I think some of the tracks on here where he yells or where he screams, it's just like, why are you doing that? It doesn't add to the song. It just makes me look at you and say, what are you doing? That doesn't make me a normie. It just means that you're doing something that I find unnecessary, especially for this track. And here comes the issue with the Death Grips fans again. Dude, you're not listening to it right. You're supposed to listen to it with the intention of him being crazy. I get it. It's layered. It's nice. It's awesome. It sounds amazing. MC Ride is a very talented artist. That does not mean that just because this thing is completely unorthodox, because you can't tame it, because it is very discombobulated and disjointed, that doesn't mean that because MC Ride comes on here and starts screaming for some of the tracks, that makes it better or great for that matter. Now, I'm not saying that you can't enjoy it. I'm just saying, for me, understand if I don't think that's the case. His energy is there for every single one of these tracks, so I commend him completely for that. And subject matter wise, it tackles, like I said, the same or similar narrative that it did on the Money Store, but you know, it was a little bit less of an impact on me for this album because with the Money Store, that was my first time listening to that concept and tackling it, sprinkling that concept over every single one of the tracks made the album better for me. This album, not bad. Like I said, not bad, just Not the greatest Death Grips album, I'm sure, but it was something good for me to listen to. I did like it. I did enjoy it. There were some tracks on here I would take away. Other tracks, just meh, maybe not. Listening to it twice, I think the Charles Manson feature, or I wouldn't say feature, but I guess sample in the very beginning of the album makes sense because they're trying to tell you you're about to tackle this from the standpoint of Charles Manson, or maybe MC Ride is thinking like Charles Manson and the character that he's trying to be on this album. But the mind of Charles Manson is something I would rather tackle by reading it as opposed to listening to it through like sound. I get it though, because it's a nice soundtrack to listen to if you want to think like a crazy person for a little while. I get it. It's dope. It was dope. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. I would give it like a 7 out of 10. I would give it a 7. Cool. 7 out of 10. It was nice. It was a good listen. Wasn't great. I wouldn't say it's legendary. It definitely doesn't beat the Money Store in my opinion, but it's a cool album. It's a cool album, and if you're a Death Grips fan, I can see why you like it, but again, understand why some people are just or on the fence about it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Go ahead and leave a like down below. Comment, subscribe how you felt about the album when you first listened to it. If I'm putting you onto it now, how do you feel about it? What's your favorite Death Grips album? What's your favorite Death Grips kind of song? I'd love to hear it in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. We're done. Oh yeah, Lil Yachty's coming Friday, so get ready for that.